Let's be real. In a world that is absolutely buzzing with AI, it feels like there's a new million-dollar idea popping up every single day. But how in the world do you separate the real opportunities from all that hype? Well, today we're going to cut through the noise and find a business idea that's not just trendy, but actually intelligent.
I love this quote from entrepreneur Louis Key because it just perfectly sets the stage. We're all kind of tired of chasing those shortcuts that just lead nowhere, right? The goal isn't easy money. The goal is intelligent money. And that's all about working smarter, not just harder, by picking the right path from the very beginning.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What actually makes a business intelligent? It's not just about slapping AI onto something and calling it a day. It's about finding a business model that has some very specific, fundamental strengths. Strengths that give you a huge advantage, especially if you're just starting out.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by building a little analytical toolkit with 4 key pillars. Then, we're going to use that toolkit to see why some of the popular old business models just don't cut it anymore. After that, we'll look at the new wave of AI businesses, find the one that perfectly connects with what the market is screaming for, and finally, I'll leave you with a framework you can use for any idea you have in the future.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even begin to evaluate any business, we need a system. This can't be about guesswork or following the latest guru. We need a clear, repeatable framework that helps us spot a real winning opportunity from a mile away. And here they are, the 4 pillars of an intelligent business, according to Louis Key. First up, high margins, so you actually get to keep a good chunk of the money you make. Second, low investment, so you don't have to bet your life savings just to get off the ground. Third, low difficulty. This means you don't need a PhD in computer science to do it. And finally, and this one is the absolute king, high demand. You have to be selling something that people are actively, even desperately looking for.
All right, so now we have our toolkit. Let's put it to the test, shall we? We're going to take a look at a couple of the most hyped-up online businesses from the past few years and see exactly why they don't really fit our intelligent criteria anymore.
Drop shipping. The promise was amazing, right? Sell stuff without ever touching the inventory. But what's the reality today? Well, it fails our test, and it fails spectacularly. Your margins? They get absolutely crushed by the insane cost of ads. Low investment? Nope. You might need thousands of dollars just to test products and find a winner. And the big one? High demand? The market is so saturated, it's like trying to sell water in a rainforest. It's just become a really, really tough game to win.
And what about starting a social media marketing agency, or SMMA? That promise of big, high-ticket clients is so tempting. But this one fails on 2 gigantic pillars. First, the difficulty is sky high. You have to be a genuine expert to deliver results that are worth thousands of dollars a month. And second, because so many beginners jumped in and couldn't deliver, client trust is, well, it's broken. So for a beginner, that high demand is pretty much zero. Nobody wants to take a risk on a newcomer.
So if the old models are basically broken, where do we even look now? Well, this brings us to the exciting part, the new wave of businesses that are built on the back of artificial intelligence. Let's apply our 4-pillar framework to some of the top ideas that creator Yomi Denzel has identified and see what actually has some serious potential. Okay, so Yomi Denzel put together this really useful scorecard, rating these new AI businesses. Now, here's the key to reading this. For capital, a score of 5 is great news. It means very low capital is needed. For potential and difficulty, a 5 means very high. So as you can see, things like an AI transformation agency or AI app creation, they have huge potential and don't cost a lot to start. But look at that difficulty column. Most of them are a pretty tough 3 or 4 out of 5. The real challenge is finding a model that keeps that high potential and low capital, but brings the difficulty way down for someone just starting out.
And this right here is where it all clicks. When you take the SMART framework from Louis Key and you lay it over the new opportunities from Yomi Denzel, one business model just emerges. It becomes the clear winner. It's the one that perfectly connects a massive, growing demand with a supply that's actually accessible.
The engine that makes this whole thing work is a classic business concept called arbitrage, and it's actually super simple. You find a service that's available for a low price in one market, let's say from a super talented freelancer overseas, and then you sell it for a much higher price in another market where it's in high demand, like to local businesses in your city. You are the connector. You don't do the work yourself, you just profit from the price difference. But is there actually demand? Oh yeah, just look at this number. In France alone, more than 1 million new businesses are created every single year. This shows the opportunity gap perfectly.
All of them, plus the millions of businesses that already exist, they know they need to integrate AI and other digital services just to stay competitive, but they have no clue how to do it or who to trust. The demand is absolutely massive, and it's growing every day.
So here it is, the perfect fit. The model is called an AI transformation agency, or sometimes you'll hear it called AI drop servicing. Let's run it through our 4 pillars one last time. High margins? Check. That's the arbitrage we just talked about. Low investment? Absolutely. You're not buying anything up front. Low difficulty? Yes. Your job is to be the project manager, the connector, not the AI genius. And massive demand? We just saw the numbers. It checks every single box.
So we found a really compelling business model for today. But the real goal here isn't just to give you one idea to run with. It's to give you the tool, the mental model, to find the next great idea and the one after that.
And this, right here, is the most important takeaway of all. That 4-pillar framework, high margins, low investment, low difficulty, and high demand, that is way more valuable than any single business tip. The hot new ideas are always going to come and go, but this way of thinking, this analytical tool, will always help you figure out what's truly intelligent versus what's just temporary hype. So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this question. The market is always going to change. New technologies are going to pop up, and today's perfect opportunity might be tomorrow's saturated market. But those 4 pillars, they're going to remain constant. So now that you're equipped with this framework, what opportunity are you going to test next? Thanks for tuning in.